Goedemorgen.
Goedemorgen.
Ja. In één keer raak.
Ja, we horen hem.
Hoi,
Dat
geweldig.
was echt klokslag 1 uur.
Ja, hè? Ik ben een man van timing. Componist, hè?
Hey, kijk eens wie daar is.
Hi.
Hey, look who's there.
Hey!
Hello, sorry guys.
Oh, there we go.
No problem. Hello.
Hoi Morris.
Hallo.
Hi.
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 Oh, what a time, what a time, what a time.
My God, how are you?
Actually, I'm pretty fine, but
Okay.
you are in Barcelona, right?
Well, Tarragona is called a smaller city.
Oh, I'm in Marseille, France.
Where do you live in New York, Miho?
Harlem.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm fine, hanging in there.
Ik zit in mijn studio in Berlijn.
It snowed here last week a lot, so
Wow.
but now we're back to normal. But that's normal for Chicago, where sometimes in April it snows. I don't know.
I mean, here the lockdown is complete. So we didn't really go to the street at all for a month.
Wow.
And yeah, also, I mean, we even buy online food so that we don't really have to go, just to eliminate any chances to get it contagious. But yeah, but I mean, the house is big enough. We have a small garden. It's fine. I'm alive.
Do you think the crisis influences you? The what's happening around you now?
Yeah, I mean, all of us go through different times of, ups and downs, right? And the eternal question is how much of what surrounds you or what you're experiencing end up in a piece of music. This is something that I always like to think about is how different philosophies, when it comes to expression and artistic expression, that is, have different, totally different ways. One school of thought, for example, suggests that you do, art to, respond or reflect on the world around you, right? Another school of thought suggests that you create anything or a piece of music in a way of recreating the world in the most ideal way according to you. And my personal philosophy has always been that you do art to experience emotions that you don't have the luxury of experiencing in real life. You write music to make yourself feel emotions that you didn't have access to in your normal life. So you go beyond of what's available. And I belong to this third group where I would like to dig deeper into undiscovered parts of my heart and my brain.
Het is gewoon fijn om af en toe periodes te hebben waar je weer terug kan naar die intuïtieve... Ja, dat je weer meer terug kan naar je gevoel. Gewoon dat er meer ruimte is, omdat je kan ademen. En dat de tijd kunt geven. Als je alleen maar moet produceren en je moet dat seizoen na seizoen, dan wordt het op een gegeven moment wel... merk ik voor mij lastiger. Ik ben misschien een bovengemiddeld intuïtief componist.
Like a lot of musicians have an opportunity to write music or work on productions right now. And people kind of joke that, okay, there are going to be so many music, so many songs, so many tunes called a coronavirus or something like that.
Yeah, I'm consciously trying to stay away from that.
Exactly. My attitude towards writing music is not towards what is happening right now either. So I try to get inspiration from something else. But for now, I think I do have enough, experiences and then ideas in my head for my, next compositions. And then especially for the piece with you guys, to the Fuse, we talked about this concrete, idea of the entire piece before. So I was so glad that we had that conversation way before than now. That I started already, started thinking about it a long time ago. That means that I didn't have to come up with something right away.
Yeah.
In this hard time, I don't want to describe or reflect what it is right now to my composition at the time. I think it's going to naturally reflect anyway, somehow, but I don't want to intentionally, like, you know, get this this mood to the music.
Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna get it in the music, and then if I were to look back that from, you know, 5 years later, oh, maybe I see the darkness around that time, you know.
Do you think if you compose music right now, that is part of that sort of photograph of these times?
I'm sure it will be. You know, I'm sure it will be. You know, whatever we do collectively, eventually it's whether we want it or not. It was something that was done in 2020. You know, does it have to be about 2020? I don't think it has to. And I'll give you an example from a different catastrophe. If you look, for example, of what Syria produced art-wise during the catastrophe that it went through and is still going through. Yes, there are, you know, films and pieces of music that are about displacements, about you know, political prisoners, about you know, the 500,000 people that died. All of this, but equally there are music and films and novels that are based on love stories and stories that have nothing to do with the bigger context. And I think the collection of these narratives that the country or its citizens produced will give you a picture of what happened artistically during that time. And I think these times for us is not different.
Dus we hebben eigenlijk het perfecte project in handen om nu dit nulpunt te vertalen. En gewoon de komende 2 jaar gaan we zien wat hier uitkomt. En dat wordt gewoon het tijdsbeeld van onder andere deze crisis. En dat vind ik heel rustgevend.
Ja. Dat is voor mij het enige positieve van deze crisis. Dat ik gedwongen word om nog dieper in te zoomen. Ik weet niet zo goed hoe ik dit moet zeggen. Om nog dieper na te denken over wat ik wil. En allerlei ruis verdwijnt daarbij. Begrijp je? Dus ik componeer vrij makkelijk. Ik ga zitten en ik heb ideeën en huppakee, er is wel weer een stuk of zo. Maar als het erop aankomt, zoals wat ik nu voor jullie wil gaan maken bijvoorbeeld. En dat is ook wel heel mooi. Transformatie is mijn thema. Ja, daar ben ik op een hele andere manier met die noten bezig. Want ik ben al wel begonnen voor jullie. Ik laat nog niks horen of zien, maar goed, ik ben er al wel mee bezig. Allerlei omtrekkende bewegingen. Maar ik merk gewoon dat ik veel meer, dat het soortelijk gewicht van wat ik schrijf, moet er echt toe doen.
For me, this sort of next phase of my work was really moving into a very sort of personal and introspective space, which this moment is really good for, actually. So a lot of the pieces that I am working on or had been working on already, each had this very sort of personal and sort of self-reflective aspect to it, which actually feels really good in this moment to be working on. And then the other half of the other part of my work was really about sort of reaching out and connecting with other people, and that is still happening in a lot of the pieces, and I think feels even more important to be doing in this moment too. So I don't know that it's shifted my point of view in terms of the narrative or the storytelling behind my work, but I think that it has made me realize that was an important direction for me to be moving in already, and so it feels good to keep sort of leaning in that direction, which is good.
I don't advocate for going back to normal, because I think what we have been living actually is largely not normal. how we live, how we consume. I mean, I don't mean to be philosophical about this, but it's something that I think about. You know, crossing the Atlantic like 5 times a month. I mean, is a disaster from an kind of ecosystem perspective. So, if anything, I hope that I became more aware.
We don't know if we will meet each other, if we will be able to meet each other.
I know. I mean, we have to think that hopefully not ever. I mean, hopefully sometime in our lives. I don't know about soon, but maybe not soon. But hopefully, I mean, I'm gonna stay hopeful for that.
Yeah, me too.
Ons project, als het allemaal door kan gaan, natuurlijk in november. Maar hoe dan ook, het gaat door. Ooit. Maar dat is het samen stoeien met het materiaal. Gewoon dingen uitproberen en kijken of ze werken of niet. En dat proces, dat mis ik soms. Als ik hier in mijn studiootje zit, dan is het een one-man show, zal ik maar zeggen. Het is niet eens een show, het is een one-man job.
I think it just, again, sort of maybe I'm repeating myself, but kind of goes like back to understanding who you all are and what is the music you want to be making. And I think that is the most inspiring to me. That not just that it's about creating something that is in service of you only, but that understanding what is important to you connects with what is valuable and important to me. And there is always a point of connection, you know what I mean? There really is, no matter what. And so that is the thing that I think I'm looking for. That's the hardest to get when you haven't been able to just spend time with you. And I think, the way that I think of workshopping pieces is also just building in time for us to just be around each other as regular people.
Wat ik wel heel tof vind aan de timing van Mikrokosmos nu, is dat het project zich eigenlijk, het gaat zo al over proces, dat het zich eigenlijk heel goed leent voor deze periode.
Ja, dat is precies wat ik dus ook voel. Ja.
Het is natuurlijk jammer dat die bouwplaatsen niet kunnen doorgaan voorlopig. Maar het feit dat we eigenlijk nog meer tijd hebben voor proces op dit moment, dat is eigenlijk waar we het ook net over hadden. Dat is ook een soort geschenk voor dit project.
Ja. En ik vind het ook heel bijzonder gegeven dat we nu in één keer met z'n allen in een soort nulpunt zitten.
Ja.
Iedereen wel op een andere plek in de wereld en iedereen ervaart het ook weer anders en verwerkt het anders. Maar het is ook iets gezamenlijks wat we nooit hadden gehad en gevoeld. Zo ervaar ik het, hè. Maar daar ben ik heel, heel dankbaar voor. Dat ik denk, wauw, dit is ook wel wat een bijzondere periode voor de kiem van dit... Van deze vraag ook. Die vraag wordt ook nog relevanter. Hoe klinkt het nu en wat... krijgt nog een andere lading.